Good morning, and welcome to your AIDailyPress morning podcast for July 17, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Good evening from our newsroom. This is Walter Concrete reporting. Firstly, in Ukraine, Serhiy Koretsky has been approved as the new prime minister, tasked with navigating the country through its most challenging winter yet due to ongoing Russian attacks. With his extensive experience in crisis management and a background in engineering, Koretsky is expected to play a crucial role in protecting Ukraine's energy system, stabilizing the economy, and ensuring effective use of international aid. Secondly, in the United States, concerns over election integrity continue to be a topic of discussion following the 2020 presidential election. Despite numerous investigations finding no conclusive evidence of widespread voter fraud, allegations of foreign interference have sparked debate. Intelligence agencies distinguish between election influence and election interference, with the latter involving direct manipulation of voting processes. As the U.S. prepares for future elections, robust security measures and transparent voting processes are deemed essential. Lastly, in the United Kingdom, Prime Minister-elect Andy Burnham is set to embark on a nationwide listening tour to connect with voters and build support across the country. The tour aims to give Burnham an opportunity to engage with local communities, understand their concerns, and establish himself as a leader in touch with the needs of the British people. This move comes as Burnham faces calls from opposition leaders to provide more details on his policy plans and subject himself to media scrutiny. These stories highlight significant developments globally, from leadership changes and geopolitical tensions to electoral integrity and national leadership strategies. We will continue to monitor these situations and provide updates as more information becomes available. To the best of our knowledge, these are the current developments in Ukraine, the US, and the UK. Based on the information available, it's clear that each country is navigating unique challenges that will shape their futures and relationships with the global community. Let me repeat that. The situations in Ukraine, the US, and the UK are complex and multifaceted, requiring careful attention and analysis. We urge our listeners to stay informed through reputable sources and to consider the broader implications of these events. And that's the way it is. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Thank you, Walter. Firstly, the situation in Yemen continues to deteriorate as the Saudi-led coalition tightens its blockade on the country, exacerbating the humanitarian crisis. The blockade has limited the flow of food, fuel, and medicine into Yemen, and the international community is calling for a peaceful resolution to the conflict. However, with both sides showing no signs of backing down, the risk of further escalation and humanitarian suffering grows. In other news, the United States has launched a global campaign against far-left violence, with Secretary of State Marco Rubio convening officials from over 100 countries to discuss the issue. However, critics argue that the administration is ignoring the more significant threat posed by right-wing extremism, which has been responsible for the majority of terrorist attacks in the U.S. in recent years. This move has sparked intense debate and criticism, with many accusing the Trump administration of politically motivated attempts to distract from the real threats to national security. Lastly, Brazil's government is preparing the response to Washington's latest tariffs, which could include non-tariff measures affecting the audiovisual sector and pharmaceutical and agricultural patents. The measures under consideration are in line with Brazil's reciprocity law, and officials in Brasilia view these options as preferable to tariffs on imports from the U.S. because they would be less likely to disrupt Brazilian supply chains or fuel domestic inflation. These stories highlight the complexities and challenges of global politics and international relations. We will continue to monitor these developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. We are starting the day with a summary of the latest market trends and news. Equity bank shares reported strong second quarter earnings with record EPS, driven by growth in net interest income and an expansion in average loans. Meanwhile, European stocks ended with modest gains after a volatile trading session, as investors monitored renewed geopolitical risks and concerns over high artificial intelligence valuations. The global financial markets also witnessed declines in the NASDAQ and S&P 500 due to fluctuations in chip stocks, despite strong earnings reports from companies like United Health Group. Geopolitical tensions between the US and Iran continue to escalate, with oil prices surging and investors exercising caution. As we navigate these complex market conditions, remember, don't panic and stay informed with the latest updates from the AIDailyPress. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Lewis. Firstly, NASA's Planetary Defense Team has made a groundbreaking discovery, identifying a dark comet that was initially mistaken for an asteroid. This finding has important implications for our understanding of near-Earth objects and the potential threats they pose to our planet. Secondly, SpaceX was forced to abort the launch of its Starship rocket due to engine issues, highlighting the challenges the company faces in its pursuit of innovation and exploration. Lastly, China and Russia have joined forces to counter the growing influence of SpaceX's Starlink network, citing concerns over its potential impact on their own space-based initiatives. This collaboration marks a significant escalation in space-based competition and rivalry, with far-reaching consequences for the future of satellite-based communications and humanity's presence in the cosmos. As we explore these developments further, one thing is clear: the space industry is at a critical juncture, with cooperation, innovation, and perseverance being essential to navigating the challenges that lie ahead. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. First off, the FIFA World Cup is just around the corner, with Spain and Argentina set to face off in the final match. We've seen a significant shift in championship odds, with over $2.2 billion in betting volume on Kalshi's World Cup winner market. Our coverage will continue throughout the weekend. So, now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Currell.
Thank you, Howard. In Milwaukee, former Packer Gilbert Brown is hosting a free football camp for kids, demonstrating the power of sports in bringing people together. We're also following the story of Representative Mike Lawler, who has revealed a past drunk driving arrest, reminding us of the importance of transparency and accountability in public life. Additionally, we're celebrating the legacy of music icon Robert Plant, who will receive a Lifetime Achievement Award at the 2026 Americana Honors Awards, recognizing his enduring contributions to the genre. These stories remind us of the dignity of ordinary work, the beauty of everyday life, and the importance of tradition in shaping our communities. Join us as we explore these stories and their implications for our understanding of transparency, accountability, and the human side of public life. From the heartland to the main streets, we're honoring the wisdom found in small towns and the connection between people and their environment. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First off, we're remembering the talented Michelle Trachtenberg, whose passing has shed new light on the complexities surrounding mental health and addiction. Our thoughts are with her loved ones during this difficult time. Next, we're talking flowers, but not just any flowers. We're diving into the world of M&S Schmalberg, the iconic New York City business that's been creating handmade fabric flowers for over 100 years. From runway shows to red carpets, their custom blooms have become a fashion staple, and we can't get enough of them. And finally, we're celebrating the one and only Madonna, who's still bringing the house down with her unique blend of style, energy, and talent. Her latest single, Danceteria, has stormed the UK charts, cementing her position as one of the most successful artists of all time. With 30 hits on the official singles chart and a legacy that continues to inspire new generations of fans, Madonna is truly the queen of pop. Tune in later for more in-depth coverage of these stories, and don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for your daily dose of news, fashion, and entertainment. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Ottenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we have a troubling story from the Pacific Ocean, where grey whales are experiencing a potentially catastrophic population decline. With as many as 970 stranding deaths reported this year, scientists consider this a catastrophic mortality event. The main culprit behind this decline is climate change, which is disrupting the Arctic food web that these majestic creatures depend on. In another story, we celebrate a significant step towards conservation, with the Manx Wildlife Trust's Cronk Bing Areas Reserve being declared a National Nature Reserve. This haven for diverse wildlife and habitats provides a home for over 200 species of birds and supports beach nesting birds such as ringed plovers and oyster catchers. Lastly, we look at the alarming spread of the non-native giant prawn through protected areas in Brazil. This invasive species poses significant ecological risks and has been linked to declines in local species populations and changes in trophic relations. The Brazilian government is being urged to take swift action to address this issue before it is too late. These stories serve as a reminder of the need for continued vigilance and stewardship to protect our most precious ecosystems for future generations. We will continue to monitor these situations and provide updates as more information becomes available. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.